What up, my friends? This is day 158. More than 1/3 of the year is over. No excuses, 2024. I just saw a big ass bear. But I was thinking about this phone call I had the other day. Well, we bought a car. I made a video about it, but my ex-wife and I, we get along now and everything. And I was talking to her new husband, my kid's stepfather, which in the past, her relationship with that man seemed to be a threat to me, right? Because I wasn't doing the right shit, and my life was a mess, and everything was a threat to me, And for years, her and I, we didn't get along. So he and I, we didn't even make eye contact or talk or anything, right? Now we've been talking over the last couple of years, 3 years or so. And bought my daughter a car. There was some issues with it. Put a new engine in it. Car's running gray, and so I told him, let me know, what kind of money we're talking and blah, 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 right? And so he's like, all right. So he gave me a ring and I got the money. And but we were having a good conversation. We talked for about 35, 40 minutes, And it was during that conversation, some of the things that he was saying about my children, right? Like good things, not anything bad, like joking around and being caring and talking about the situation with the car and how, we show her that we don't quit. We just, we push forward and we make shit happen. Sometimes it takes a little while, but, we get things done. We don't just quit. And I realized, laughing with him and having this conversation about my children, right? And his stepchildren, to be fair, right? He's married to my ex-wife and lives with them half the time. I live with him the other half the time with my girl. And I realized right then, and it was it came over me like a rushing wave, that there's no threat here, right? There's no threat to my manhood. There's no threat to my fatherhood. Even him doing the things that he does for my children is zero threat to me, right? And it's good for the kids. And I realized right then and there that I wanted the best for my ex-wife and her husband, along, as well as my children, in their household and, on that side of my family dynamic, right? Because I have my half, she has her half. Just like I want success for my girlfriend and myself, because it's good for our kids, right? It's good for the kids. And, and I realized at that moment that, he, whatever situation, were never a threat to my manhood, to my masculinity. They were never a threat to my fatherhood, to me being a dad, to me being a stand-up guy in society, in my community, being a leader to my children. That was never a threat. I was the only threat to that whole situation, right? I've said it before, my kids and I, we have a pretty good, it feels like a pretty solid relationship. I mean, they're teenagers and, they're still young. There's going to be shit going down and, excuse me, but I'm prepared for it, But that realization came rushing over me like a wave from a tsunami. And I felt this peace and empathy and love in my heart, even for that man, right? And, they got into a relationship, blah, 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 I was still mad. But, I don't blame them for that. I had my own part in that situation, just like they did, I got no animosity towards any of that. I can't say that was always the case. It was not. But it is now. And I just know now that there's no worries, right? That I was the biggest blocker, what's going. And I was the biggest one that was, in the way of being a dad or, anything else. And so once that hit me, it was like this weight off of my shoulders, and the realization that I want them to do just as well, if not better than I do on my side, right? Because I know that I'm holding down my end. Now, I mean, I always did, but I was fucking up, I was doing drugs, I was drinking, spending shit I shouldn't be spending, acting the way I shouldn't be acting, blaming people I shouldn't be blaming, not taking responsibility. But it was like a giant weight fell off of my shoulders, and I felt at peace with the situation, with my marriage, with my children, with them having a stepfather, and me actually realizing
workout paused.
me actually realizing that having a stepfather is beneficial to them as long as he's a solid person, right? And he seems pretty solid, and it's never a threat to a real dad. It's never a threat to a strong father figure in your kid's life to have another one. It's not a threat, you know what I mean? Yeah, sure, maybe it would have been better if the marriage lasted, this, that. That doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there at this point, right? But I just know that they're trying their damnedest to take care of these children, as am I and my girlfriend, right? My girlfriend and I. And that was a really strong, resentment released, just any kind of stress from the situation. All of it was just gone in a moment's notice, And a friend of mine had reached out for a plumbing contractor, and he's a plumbing contractor. I tried to link them up, but I guess he's already working pretty busy. He's all booked up and stuff, so it is what it is. But hey, you know what I mean? I was able to reach out and be like, hey man, there's this big job if you want it, that's a little bit of growth, a little bit, but that's beneficial to everybody in the situation, right? I don't have this animosity.
Workout resumed.
I don't have this animosity. I don't have this stressor. I don't have, none of it. I don't have a resentment, I want best for them, and I want the best for us, because that's the best for our kids. But anyway, that's what I was thinking about. It's day 158 of No Excuses 2024. What's your excuse? Aches, pains, I got them all too, man. But I'm making it happen. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.